Today in Copilot Studio Quicks, we're going to learn how to upload a file from an agent conversation straight into SharePoint. No hoops, no nothing, pretty straightforward. So jumping over here to my desktop, I've got a brand new agent. You can see I just provisioned it, so I haven't done anything. And so we want to talk first about the whole concept of file uploads. If you go over here to settings and you scroll all the way to the bottom, down here you've got file uploads, and users can upload PDF, text, CSV, and image files. Oh, Shane, what if I want to upload Word documents or Excel files or any other of the 8 million other file formats? Like, it's not going to work. It is. So this setting actually has nothing to do with whether or not you can upload files. I know they should call it something else. Basically what it's saying is these are the types of files your agent natively knows how to think about, view. So you could hand it a PDF and it could summarize it for you, but you can't hand it a Word doc and get it to summarize it using this capability. So this setting actually has nothing to do with file uploads. Crazy, right? So look, just to prove it, right? We're going to turn it off and do this whole demo. Okay, but you could leave it on. It doesn't matter is the key. Okay, it saved my changes. So now if we kind of go back over here, in order to do a file upload, you're going to want to use a tool. So here we'll go over here to tools and we'll say add a tool. And since we want to upload to SharePoint, we're going to choose the SharePoint connector. Inside of here is going to be upload a file, just the way that we've always had it before, right? Not update. Oh, actually it's create file, sorry. Upload file, create file, I got to put it in mind. Anyway, it's create file here in SharePoint. This is the same action that we would use over in Power Automate Cloudflow. So if you've ever done it over there, you know most of the mechanics you're going to need here. Now, if you've never connected before, you'd have to do your connection. I already have a connection, so we're good. So we're going to say add and configure. After a few seconds, we're going to need to play the fill in the blank game. Now, one of the things that we always talk about is with, name and description. These are what matter. This is what tells your agent what this tool can do and how to use it. So for example, we might change the name here to upload a file to SharePoint. If that's what our users want to type in, if that's the context our users are going to be in when they do it, that's what we put there. If we were, passing TPS reports, we'd say TPS report uploader. You want to make it so that it's contextual with the conversation your user's having. The same thing here in the description. You'd want to go in here and change this to be something that was meaningful for your agent to understand when to use it. So we'll try something like, this tool takes a file from the user via chat and then uploads it to the SharePoint document library. Once again, if they were trying to put it in the TPS repository, you'd want to put that. If they were trying to put it in the, employee history file, whatever they're trying to do, the receipts, you want to give as much context. It is the key to being successful with these agents. Okay. Rest of this stuff we're going to ignore for now. Now for the inputs, we're going to have a site address. So here you're going to choose your SharePoint site. Now don't click the drop-down arrow because it's a bug, it doesn't work. But if you click right here, then there are my different SharePoint sites. And so I'm going to upload it to my Power Apps videos. Folder path. Now to try to dynamically fill that with AI, I want to specify this ahead of time. So I'm going to click here and I'm going to say custom value. And then when I click in here, it is going to, or no, if I click this, after multiple clicks, right? So in here, then I'm looking for, where is my file, right? So I'm going to use puppy pics just to be different, but I could use my shared documents, use the right location. And if you want to drill into a specific folder in the puppy pics, you click here to drag it to its folder, but we're just going to put it into puppy pics for now. Okay. Now the file name and the file content. This is the part that you probably don't know how to do yet. That's okay. It's what I'm here for, right? So what we want to do here is custom value. And then for the name of the file, you could just hard code a file, but that would be kind of silly. You probably want the file name that the user has. So what I would do is I would click here on the ellipses, easy for me to say. And then I am going to use a formula. This is the same formula language, PowerFX, that we use in Power Apps. So if you've never done Power Apps before, that's okay. What we're going to have to understand here, though, is that we want to get the last file that they uploaded. So we're going to use the last function. And then how do we reference that file? You're going to do system.activity.attachments. Close your parentheses. So that is a table of all of the things they've attached during this conversation, right? They've hit the little upload, what do you call this thing? Paperclip. Goodness gracious, Shane. I'm going to click on the paperclip down here. Clippy'd be very mad at me right now. And everything they've uploaded through that is in system activity attachments. So last is saying grab the last file they put in there. Now that gives you the whole kit and caboodle though. You don't want the whole kit and caboodle. You just want the file name. So you can do a dot here And then you're going to say, oh, I want the dot name. So that will give you the file name of the file that they attached, right? The exact file name they attached. We will go ahead and copy all this because I'm lazy, right? But we're going to say insert. So file name is good. So now for file content, you're going to do very similar, custom value, and then hit the ellipses, formula, and then paste, and then a dot. And then for this one, you're going to use dot content. Yeah, I think that looks good. So we'll go ahead and say insert. And that right there, that little pattern of last, blah, 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 that should be the aha moment for you, right? Like that's how we reference those files. So when we want to do things with them, like in one of my scenarios, I put it into a variable. I just put that into the variable. You know, I understand now that that's how I reference files the user's attaching, and it opens up a lot of doors for me. Okay. Also keep in mind that like we're not going to mess with it today, but folder path here, we did /puppypics, but you could drag into, go into existing folders. You can, update that. You could make that dynamic. You could have some type of picker or choice thing that then fills that in. Like there's a lot that you can unpack there. We're not going to get into that today, but there's a lot more you can do with that to make this a lot more dynamic if necessary. But the most basic form, that looks right to me. So let's go ahead and hit save up here at the top. All right, the tool was saved. Now at this point, I feel like we can give it a go. So let's just say, upload this file to SharePoint, please. We'll click on the paperclip again. Goodness, why is paperclip so hard for me? Let's click on it. And let's just open or upload a nice Excel fake financial data. That seems great to me. So we'll say open. And then the user just hits the little arrow. The little thing thinks for a minute. Now, because it's our first time connecting, it wants to connect to my SharePoint connection. So we're going to allow that, right? That gives it the cookie to be able to use my account. Remember, it's always going to use the account of the logged in user to push that data up to this place. And it says, hey, that has been pushed up there. And if we switch over to SharePoint, and so there's our PuppyPics document library. And then if we look in here, we should have fake financial data a few seconds ago, and then go ahead and click on it and just make sure that this fake financial data opens. It does. I have no idea what's in there. Who cares? If we switch back over here. So that's an important step of this as well, right? Is make sure that we trust but verify. I always go and make sure that that file landed over there and that the file is not corrupt, right? It's the same thing I've been teaching in Power Automate forever. Like make sure the file is there and it's all there. It actually works. That's how you know you got all the pieces of the puzzle right. Now, speaking of the pieces of the puzzle, one other thing that I thought about while we were kind of doing this, because I think while I'm talking, it's weird, I know. But if we go back here to settings, so, we once again, we turned this off. So remember, this didn't matter, which is probably a revelation for about everyone's watching this video, quite frankly. No one understood that. But the other one is, right, remember the whole use generative AI orchestration, this needs to be yes, right? This is what's allowing the agent to call the tool. So if you turn this off for some reason, you can't use tools. Right? That's a whole different ball of wax, but I know that's a thing we've ran into with some of my students before, so I want to throw that one out there for you. Also, now that it's working, right, you could use that tool in a topic and go here in the instructions. It's all fair game. You understand how to upload it. Also, while we're talking about things you understand, if you are into learning Copilot Studio, over at training.powerappс911.com, I have a class, Copilot Studio 201. It is a jumpstart, everything, all the nerdy details, right? Like this was just a quick little tiny piece. It is hours and hours of structured, well done, think to myself, I guess I'm pop myself in back there, content around Copilot Studio. So check that out over there. Okay, and I think that's it for our Copilot Studio Quicks today. If you're not familiar with the series, you probably aren't, I just started it today. This is my idea. I'm just going to create those little 8, 10, 12-minute videos that show you how to do one little specific thing. Remembering, if you want to learn it all, go check out the training class. But if you're just trying to get these little nuggets, then they're all freely shared out here on whatever this is called, YouTube, right? YouTube, clipboard, paper clips. Words are hard today, folks. All right, questions, comments, ideas for future videos, leave them below. And with that, I'm going to say thanks. Have a great day.